may remember this picture, and you may remember hearing about Lisa Colagrossi, the exceptionally talented WABC News reporter in New York, who tragically passed away a little over 6 weeks ago now. She died suddenly from a brain aneurysm while she was at work. Well, today her husband is here in D.C. He'll be meeting with lawmakers to increase awareness about brain aneurysms. And Todd Crawford joins us now ahead of his visit to the Hill. Todd, first off, from one news family to another, our condolences to yours. We can't imagine what you and your family have been going through these last 6 weeks. Can you kind of take us back to that day and tell us exactly what happened? It was just a normal day.
Sure. Actually, the day before, we were all at home having a normal day, preparing our brackets for March Madness and hanging everything on the door. And then come March 19th, the following Thursday, Lisa went to work, left the house at 1:30 in the morning, which is her normal routine.
Right.
And she finished her morning report somewhere around 7:30, 8 o'clock, and got back in the news van, and at that point clutched her head and told her truck driver, said, "Marvin, something is happening," and collapsed and then went into cardiac arrest. And they did bring her back, but with the severity between the brain damage and cardiac arrest, there was nothing that they could do.
And I think it almost sounds redundant to say a sudden brain aneurysm, because it seems like that is what they always are when we hear them. Did she have any symptoms? Was this known to her?
She did have symptoms, but it's not known. You know, she did experience headaches, once or twice a week, that, she'd walk in the door after her shift and get home around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and the first thing she'd say is, "My head is killing me." But this is such a not on the radar screen across this country. It's at the bottom of the list, and we need to raise it up and increase the awareness. I mean, this is other afflictions, you are diagnosed and you have time. Heart disease, cancer. This is a silent killer, and nobody is aware of the signs and symptoms, what to be looking for. Most attributed, even if you go to the doctor, they'll just attribute it to stress, and that's not the case. And there's 6 million Americans who walk around with a brain aneurysm every year, and 40,000 of those will rupture, like Lisa's. And of the 40,000 that rupture, 50% will survive, but they survive and usually have permanent neurological disorders. And in women, the likelihood of having a brain aneurysm is 50% higher than it is in men. So this is something that really needs to be, the issue needs to be elevated, and the awareness needs to be elevated across the country.
And you've now made this your plight to increase awareness, and you will be meeting with lawmakers today. She talked about how she would suffer from headaches. Do you think that that shift that she was on, that morning shift, it is not normal for your body to wake up at 1:30 in the morning and head into work. Do you think that that played a role at all?
So, Audrey, I think that there are a number of factors that, come into play with something like this. And certainly your work hours, lack of sleep, the amount of stress are among those factors that do come into consideration and contribute to an aneurysm actually rupturing. And there's no definitive link today between that, but that's why we need additional funding. We need additional research to be done medically so that we can understand what contributes to conditions like this, so that we can save lives.
And real quickly, before I have to let you go, so is your suggestion here, I know you've done a lot of research on this, is your suggestion here for folks who maybe do suffer from these searing headaches to get in and get tested?
It is. Right away, go see a doctor. Don't just attribute it to stress, on the home front. It could be something more serious than that. Research it, look at it, and so we'll be on the Hill today making a big push with lawmakers, and anybody that's interested can follow me throughout the day with my activities on Twitter at Lisa's Legacy 7.
Okay, Todd, thank you so much for coming in and talking with us, and all of our thoughts and prayers continue to be with you and your boys and your entire family.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.